I've got a lot of experience, okay, with fitness and with training and with exercise. And I've boiled it all down to what I call the 3 essentials of exercise. And they are cardio, calisthenics, and what we can call cool down. And cool down, just to sort of give more insight to that, would be things like stretching, for example, right? Just to be clear with that. So again, those are the 3 essentials of exercise, the 3 C's of exercise, actually. It's cardio, calisthenics, and cool down. Now, is there more? Oh yeah, you can go down the rabbit hole. I've been down the rabbit hole. I've tried about everything and anything when it comes to, you know, exercise programs. There's trends, there's fads. You know, CrossFit is one of the trends that's coming around right now. There's pros, there's cons. At the end of the day, it's whatever is a fit for you and for your body. And your body will tell you if it's a fit for you. And it will tell you when it's not. And how do you think it's going to tell you if it's not a good fit for you? Yeah, aches and pains. Now, a lot of the times when it comes to, you know, injuries and having those aches and pains, it's because you're in a program that does not agree with your body. But here's where human nature comes in, okay? You've been told to do this. You've been told to do it by your instructors. You see other people that are doing it, and they're telling you to do it. Even if they're not telling you to do it, you're seeing what it's doing for them, and in doing so, they're telling you what to do as well, and you're taking that on. And you might not see beyond that. So that's the first thing that I want you to consider. First of all, I want you to experience everything, although I'm only going to give you sort of what I would do if, you know, I only had 15 minutes a day to exercise and I had absolutely no equipment, all right? That may not be the case for you. You may want to move on with that, but when you do move on, always keep that in mind. You know, when I get injured? I get injured when I'm following someone else's program, almost every time. No, it says 5 sets. But damn, Chris, your shoulder, you know, you blew it out 2 years ago. It's bothered. No, 5 sets. I got to do it. I got to mark it off. Done. Right? So I go for it and I blow my shoulder out. And then I'm done for like 6 to 9 months. Right? Why? So that's sort of, you know, in the worst case scenario of when we've heard of something, it's the newest trend, it's the newest fad, it's supposed to do this, it's supposed to do that. And then we go there and we feel like a bag of crap afterwards and we're breaking down, but we're not listening to that. We're just listening to our human nature that tells us, hey, listen, this is good for us. You know, we've been sitting for a long time. We need to sort of, you know, almost punish ourselves for not being active enough. Reconsider that and really get a mind-body connection. Listen to your body. It'll always tell you what's working, what's not, what's a fit, what's not. Cardio training is really simple as a definition. Before we get into the actual demonstrations, a real brief explanation of what cardio is it uses our aerobic energy system within our body. So it uses oxygen. It's as simple as that, all right? So there's some things, right, that don't require any oxygen. That didn't, okay? If I do this for more than 15 seconds, it's requiring oxygen. So therefore, it's aerobic versus anaerobic. So that's the difference. So really, if you want to simplify it, it's a time thing. Cardio takes a lot of time, right? Whereas perhaps some of the strength movements or the more, you know, ballistic and quick movements does not take very much time. The difference between, I guess, what it would be the 800 meter and the 100 meter. This is a good way of looking at it. So cardio is definitely the 800 meter. There's no doubt about that. Now, why would you want to do any type of cardio exercises? You're trying to strengthen your heart. You're trying to lower your blood pressure. You're trying to release fatty acids, okay, so that you can burn, which is part of the weight loss process. You're trying to also, I don't know if you feel this way, but cardio really clears my head too, right? It improves my circulation. It really allows me enough time to really get connected to my body again, because we get disconnected throughout the day, right? We're highly connected to our head. In fact, some of us are living in our head. We forget that there's other things that are around us, and there's one really important thing that's attached to us. It's called our body, right? So cardio allows me to reconnect with it, because I'm going to be doing it for maybe 15 minutes or 20 minutes or 30 minutes. So that's another benefit of the cardio. But I would rather show you 5 plus a bonus exercise, but 5 exercises that are my favorite when it comes to cardio. Again, if I did not have a treadmill at home, if I just only had a limited amount of time and I want to be gentle on my body, all right? I'm not into this sadomasochist type of, you know, I've been a bad boy, I need to punish myself. I'm not into that. You know, that was before, you know what I mean? I honor my body now, and I know that it's this body that's going to carry me right to the end. So I'm going to protect it, right? And I don't want another blown out shoulder. I don't want to be depressed for 6 to 9 months because I've overdone things because of all the shame and guilt, right? So here's my 5 favorite. If you want to step up for me, first one is a twist. Fighting stance. What I'd like you to do, okay, is bring your one knee towards the opposite elbow, all right? And we're going to do this at your own pace. If you can touch your knee to your elbow, fantastic, all right? If you can't, no big deal at all. Now, the advanced version of this obviously would be a lot faster, right? You don't need to, but if you do, then obviously you're going to have an increased heart rate, and it's going to be more beneficial when it comes to all those cardio benefits that we were talking about. We're warming ourselves up. Can you feel your body heat? So this is not just cardio, but it can be a warm up for something that we do that's more intense. The other cool thing about this is that we can actually do this any point in time. I got a friend, all right, I don't think that he does this particularly. He dances. Maybe he dances like this. I don't really know. But he'll get off of his computer, because he's on his computer all day long, throw on his favorite track, and go for it. And he'll dance by himself. Sometimes he takes videos and does Facebook Live or whatever. So it's kind of cool that way. So that's the twist. The other cool thing about that is it's called dynamic stretching. So dynamic stretching is different than passive stretching. Passive stretching, okay, is like static. It's still, all right? Now, that's great. We're going to get to that later. But dynamic is actually where we should be when we're warming up. So I don't know about you, but at my age, we were taught to do static stretching with cold bodies. Wrong. We know better now. We never want to stretch a cold muscle. We always want to stretch a warm muscle because it's more pliable and it has less chance of being brittle and breaking, literally. So that's the other good thing about these cardio exercises. The next one is going to be butt kicks. So butt kick is pretty simple. Exactly. So the simple version, okay, would just be doing this slow, but we can also do it fast, okay? Exactly. There is a technique to that, but whatever's comfortable, okay? So everyone got that one? Pretty simple, right? Next one is jumping jacks. Okay, jumping jacks, this is a great total body cardio exercise. You'll find that your heart rate raises very rapidly with jumping jacks. I actually have a client of mine, under my good advice, he does jumping jacks, hundreds of them, in some cases thousands of them a day. I don't advise that, but he's getting great results. He's getting great results because jumping jacks is very foundational. You can stop now. It's one of those high intensity, high heart rate type of exercises, which is one of the 5. That's number 3 cardio exercise I'm going to show you. The next one is high knees. You'll notice that a lot of athletes, soccer players have been known to be or recognized as the best athletes on the planet, believe it or not. From a full perspective, flexibility, cardiovascular endurance, strength, etc. They do all these in their warm-up. That tells me something, because those guys know what they're doing. They are the fittest people on the planet. And another one that they do, other than jumping jacks, is high knees. So high knees, this is your simple way. Of course, you can go faster and higher. Now what we're going to do is a toe touch. Another soccer favorite where you're going to take your opposite hand to your opposite foot and stretch forward, okay? And then the next one. And when it comes between beginner and advanced, beginners you don't need to touch. Okay, advanced, you'd want to touch, and you'd want to do that as quickly as possible, and you'd want to put some force into it, like you're kicking a soccer ball. Are you ready for the bonus? Mountain climbers, one of my favorite. So if you can get yourself down into a push-up position, what I'd like you to do here, in the simplified version, you're going to bring one knee, okay, towards your chest, and then the opposite knee, okay? And you get into a rhythm. Okay, bring in the knee as close to your chest as possible, and do it at your own pace. For advanced, you're going to do this very quickly. Life is complicated. I'm not trying to complicate it anymore. I'm already confused. So when it comes to exercise, I want to really break it down too. Let's put this all together. Now you know what the twist, the butt kick, the jumping jack is. We're going to do them all for 55 seconds. We'll take a small break in between. Now, you can do this in your hotel room, in your bedroom. You can do it just about anywhere, outside, inside, and you'll see, or you'll be the judge of how 5 minutes feels to you. Are we ready? We're going to start off with the twists, okay? Go ahead, twists. Keep it up, keep it up, keep it up. Beautiful. Push, push, push. There you go. Beautiful. Take a few second break. Are we ready? Go. And as a beginner, slow it down and don't need to raise your heels to your backside. You're doing awesome, almost there. If you can pick it up, pick it up. Done. Jumping jacks. Ready? Let's go. "15 seconds, let's go." I'm sweating too. I'm with you. Let's do this. Good. So did I mess all you up with, all that talk at the beginning? Saying, you know what, this guy's full of hot air, man. I bet you this is going to be a piece of cake, a walk in the park. No? Psych! All right, high knees, high knees. Ready? Let's go. You got the idea, Sandra. So again, for the beginner, non-exaggerated movements. It's almost like a on-the-spot jog. My apologies. But for the advanced, it's high knees. Knees to the chest, as fast as you can. Keep it up. "10 seconds. And good. Doing awesome. Next. Last one. Anyone up for the bonus? I guess we'll see when we get there. Toe touch. Right to left foot. And go. I'm in the fight with you. I'm in the ring. Keep it up. Keep it up. And 55 seconds. Y'all did great. So guys, that was 5 minutes. Imagine if you didn't take breaks. Imagine if you doubled up. Wow. Now, there's new research being done. Now that they're figuring out that this make-up movement thing doesn't work, the way that I was taught, to do 2 to 3 hours every day in the gym, to do an AM, PM split, 2 workouts a day, the traditional way a bodybuilder would train, is worthless. It doesn't pay back. They're finding out what pays back is high intensity, okay? Short duration, bursts. They've shown with blood work that this releases more fat because we're not just releasing fat for that 5 minutes. We're releasing fat for some hours after, depending on the person, right? So again, it's a bit of a paradox, isn't it? So, boy, I feel like something's happening here. You're telling me that most of the stuff's gonna happen after, when I leave, when I'm in my car? Yes, that's what I'm telling you. So if it's more important out there in regards to, that's where the results are going to happen if you can shorten, compress, increase the intensity, don't punish your body for hours and hours, because, well, what's that going to do? You know, Tony Robbins, he's got shoulder problems. Guess why? Just the clapping. But he does it millions and millions of times a year. It's impact. So even clapping, you do too much of that, you're going to have problems. You're going to have joint problems, deterioration. We're going to move on now. So calisthenics, really interesting stuff. Anyone know who Bruce Lee is? Yes. Bruce Lee knew back in the 70s what we're understanding, or what I more or less understood in the last few years. Iron is not all I need, okay? Because I already have all I need. All I need is my body weight. That's what calisthenics is. Using our own body weight in exaggerated movements that will produce similar effects to the iron that I was sort of brought up on and lifted so much of and had so many injuries because of. Now, it's safer, all right? It's more sustainable, and really it's a heck of a lot easier because there's really no equipment that's involved. The only piece of equipment is you. Pretty cool, right? When we start using our body, we get very agile, we get a sense of balance, we get a sense of connection. When we're on machines made for somebody that's, you know, double our height, all right, whatever, it's just not natural to us. So we lose a lot of the ABC that I think we really need, because I don't know about you, but have you ever injured yourself doing something stupid at home? Vacuuming, taking the groceries out of the car, shoveling the snow. And I'm like, what? I'm in the gym 6-7 days a week, and now I'm injured because I shoveled some ice? I don't get it. But this is where, again, that functional training that we call it, functional because we're using our own body, not some sort of assisted mechanism with gears and straps and pulleys and metal and all this stuff. We're using what is ours, and we know how to best use our stuff, don't we? The first one we're going to use as a demo here, this is my top 5, is number 1 for a reason. There was 1 year that I had knee injuries. I was getting ready for a show. Didn't know if I would ever get there because I could only do one exercise for lower body. Guess what it was? Yeah, exactly, yes. This is the grandmother, okay, of all sort of movements. It's a movement that you can imagine when we came out of the trees, we probably did a lot of this, didn't we? Pardon me? Exactly, yeah. So such a natural movement, and it really works wonders for so many reasons, for total body strength, for lower body strength, for lower body flexibility, for calorie burn, for increasing your heart rate. You know, I would tell people, you know, why are you going to do that cardio? Come with me for a 10 to 15 minute squat regime. Your heart rate will be through the roof. It'll be to Mars. Forget about the moon. It is a very functional, total body, high value exercise. How do you do it? Shoulder width apart, toe slightly out. You never want to lock your knees. It's sort of like putting your car in park and drive. Can you imagine that? Arr, 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 arr. It just grinds everything up, and you never want to have that locked knee at the top. You want to go down, okay, to about a 45-degree angle. The secret to doing squats, okay, as you mentioned, is about sitting. It's replicating how we sit. So when you sit, do you sit like this? You know, the chair's behind you and you're like, no. You know, you lead with your butt. Your butt knows where the chair is, right? It's the same thing with the squats. So, you know, your back shouldn't be straight. That's poor posture, right? Your back should be flat. It shouldn't be curved, but it certainly shouldn't be straight. Because if it's straight, here's the indicator. Your knees are over your toes. Never let your knees go over your toes. If you look down and they are, you're doing it wrong. Just keep your hands out of the way, up in front if you like. So this is sort of the beginner's method of doing squats, all right? If you can't get down to 45, some people's knees won't permit it, or they don't have the flexibility, even 3/4, that's fine too. There's no problems at all with that. You're still gonna get a ton of benefit from it, all right? But if you can get down to that 3/4, that parallel, level, 90-degree angle, that's where we wanna be. Now, the more advanced way of doing something like this, we can turn it into a sumo squat. We go super, super wide with toes exaggerated on the out, all right? Coming down, and you'll end up getting a deeper squat. You'll get more of a stretch on the inside thigh. Do you feel that? Coming up, and we can also change that opposite and go close stance, okay? And come down into a squat. A little more trick here, a little bit more balance involved, but it's a great one too. And this is working different parts of your thighs, and it also just changes it up for your thighs, because your thighs need to change up too. They get bored. Next is push-ups. If we can get down into a push-up formation, there's two ways of doing this. There's your beginner level, perpendicular to your chest and just outside of your chest or outside of your body. Your back, just like it was on the squats, has to be flat. Okay, so you don't want to dip. You don't want your hips to go down. You don't want your hips to come up neither. You want it to be flat, okay? Does that make sense? When you come down, you want to get full range of motion. Your chest should lightly touch the floor, back up. Just like I told you with the squats, don't lock your elbows, okay? Be gentle with your joints and don't grind your gears. So the advanced way of doing it, okay, we're going to avoid calling it the male and the female way, because I know plenty of females can do it this way too. All right, now what we're doing is taking our knees off of the floor, and it's the same motion. Okay, next, with your mat, laying down, facing up. We're going to do the reverse crunch. I'm going to show you the basic way of doing it, all right? Basic way would just be a regular crunch, actually. Now, the more advanced or intermediate would have us bring it in. This is the reverse crunch. And the more advanced that you are, you can actually kick your legs straight out and perhaps even have them sort of perpendicular. And this is another variation of that crunch. I'm just going to show you one more there too. So if you're having a problem even getting both of your feet off the floor, do one at a time. Now the whole idea here is that when we activate our hips and our legs, all right, the amount of pressure and focus on your abdominals from top to bottom increases exponentially. It really does, okay? And you're doing a variation, you're doing a cross, and you can do that too. Yeah. I know it's only a crunch. I've been doing crunches since I was 14 years of age. I'm still doing them because they still work. They just do. I used all the gadgets. I bought them all from, you know, the shopping channel networks and stuff. And this, again, is the grandmother of it all. Anyone heard of a lunge? It's not a piece of meat. No, it's not a cut of meat. This is another sort of, we'll call this the one the granddaddy. And this is the lunge. Different ways of doing it. Okay, I'm going to show you the basic method. Basic method, putting one foot forward. Remember, the same rules apply. Knees never go over the toes. You want to keep your head up. The best thing to do when you're doing squats and lunges, pick a spot up high, and that's your focal point. If your chin is always up and your focus is high, then your body will always stay in perfect posture and in alignment. When your chin goes down, guess what happens to your back and your posture? Exactly. Come down. Your knees don't have to touch the floor. Get a comfortable stretch and come back up again. A lot of balance involved here, okay? It's sort of like a squat, but now we're, you know, separating the feet, so there's a lot more coordination involved. When you do a few of those, I want you to switch to the other leg. You'll find that one leg is always stronger than the other. One leg always has more balance than the other. That's normal. No worries. So we're going to do some advanced lunges now. One way of going to an intermediate or advanced level is doing walkout lunges, all right? So a lot more balance, a lot more coordination with this one here. You can also do it in reverse fashion, okay? Next one, the hip thrust on the floor. All right, I'm going to give you the basic hip thrust here. You can also do this on an exercise ball. You can do it on a chair, just to have a little bit more elevation. It'd be a little bit more difficult, but we're going to do it on the mat. I want you to bring your hips up so that we've got a 45-degree angle and back down again. Lightly touch the mat and back up. What you're trying to focus on while you're doing this is your lower body again. You're squeezing your glutes at the top, okay, your butt. You're also squeezing the back of your leg or your hamstrings and trying to maximize that squeeze or that contraction at the top. To make this more challenging, okay, for our intermediate to advanced, one leg off of the floor while you're doing this. Okay, you feel that? Planks, okay? Very simple exercise. I think probably Bruce Lee had something to do with these. Either he was breaking planks or he was breaking records with planks. Elbows on the mat. You're in the push-up formation again. We're looking for a flat back here. You do not want your hips to sink. You do not want your hips to rise or to pike. Okay, we're looking for a nice flat back. For the beginners, sorry I missed that, would be the same way we did our push-ups, okay? Knees on the mat instead of our toes on the floor. So toes up, knees on the mat. All right? So there's your plank, both beginner and intermediate to advanced. I'll show you one more advanced here. Exercising is very addictive for me anyway, so I can keep you here all night, but I'll just show you quickly some advanced planks. You can actually get your lower body. And we've sort of missed these ones, the mountain climbers. Okay, those are the 5 calisthenics with the bonus. I want to get into the cool down now. And we're not going to go through the calisthenics, but we could. You can use a timer, you know, typically anywhere from 30 to 60 seconds per activity with, you know, 30 to even maximum 60 seconds of rest period. So cool downs, you know, why do we want to do this? I'll tell you a quick story. As a bodybuilder, flexibility wasn't all that important until I saw a bodybuilder named Flex Wheeler. Now, Flex Wheeler had about 280 pounds. It really surprised me one day. Watching him at a competition, he's doing his posing routine, and all of a sudden, he starts going down into the splits. He kept going and going and going, and he actually did the full splits on stage. That impressed me, okay? This is while I'm in my 20s, my bodybuilding career is just starting. I got to do the splits, because that is super cool. So I was able, after 2 attempts, 2 fails, and a third time I was ready to do the splits. I accomplished it. I decided to do this again while I was in my 40s. Maybe that's midlife, not really sure. But regardless, I sort of posed that challenge to myself, and I'm a stubborn SOB. So when I set a challenge, and if I make it public, all right, hint, hint, that's what you got to do, put it on Facebook, you got to do it. So this time, it took me 6 months. It wasn't sort of 2 months like it was when I did it back in my late 20s, on my 3rd attempt when I was successful. But this is the weird thing. It wasn't about the splits. I did the splits. I had my friend shooting, Stefan, so I got video evidence of that if my children ever questioned me about that. But here's what happened. I can't do the splits today, all right? And this was only maybe, Stefan, maybe a year ago today almost, more or less, September, right? But this is what I got out of it, the benefit. I was having terrible problems with my knees and my hips. All of that sort of, you know, low power mode, all that sitting I was doing in past years really caught up to me. and my knees were a disaster, to the point that sometimes I couldn't even do the things we were doing tonight, the squats, the lunges, and everything else. So preparing to get down into the splits and going through that excruciating pain, I don't recommend it for anybody, okay? Unless you're a stubborn SOB like me. I cured myself of my knee problems and my hip problems that were debilitating to me because I couldn't train my lower body. So for someone like me and what I do and what I teach, you can imagine it was difficult for me to accept that. And I tried therapy, I tried physiotherapy, I tried chiro, I tried acupuncture, I tried it all. Me becoming as flexible as I could with a challenge that was sort of unrelated to that sort of goal or target was what cured me of my knees and my hips problem. What does that tell me, or what did I learn, and what I want to teach you? Become as flexible as you can. Treat flexibility like you treat your cardio, like you treat your walking. It's just as important, 110%. Because there will be a day, if that day has not already come, where your knees are going to hurt, your back's going to hurt, your hips are going to hurt. I'm telling you, it's just going to happen. It's the lifestyle we live, even if we're trying to make up for it. Get flexible. I don't see anybody getting as serious about their other stuff, their cardio stuff and their calisthenics. No one's getting serious about getting super flexible. Nobody. But I'm telling you, if you can, you're going to have so many health benefits, all right, as far as avoiding injury or curing yourself from the injuries that you had, like me. And there's this other really cool thing I didn't know about. I felt like I was super stoned to the point that I wouldn't even trust myself driving a car after 20 minutes of stretching for the splits, okay? And it could be stretching for anything. I just took it really serious and dedicated 20 minutes, okay? Wow. I know yoga's good. I've done yoga, but I never felt like that. Because when you're just focused on stretching, okay, and you don't have to do all this fancy stuff, you know. I like yoga, don't get me wrong, but stretching is just stretching. It's static stretching. You're holding and you're pushing, and you're breathing, and then afterwards you're like, whoa, wow, right? So you having a bad day, you're stressed out, you got anxiety, you feel like you're going to have like a heart attack, you got heart palpitations. Do some stretching. Tell me how you feel afterwards. I am telling you, you won't be the same person. It's like drugs. And it's free and there's no side effects. Wow. Okay, let's get into the top 5 cool down or stretching exercises. First one is one that I started when I was very young in high school. It was for wrestling. Wrestlers use their necks a lot. Okay, they got a lot of neck injuries. So all it is neck rotations. I actually do this in my morning meditation too, and it sort of gives me that feeling of, wow, I feel stoned again. And all it's doing is it's releasing and aligning, okay, that part of your spine, which is the closest part to the brain, so you can sort of imagine, you know, how that is going to relieve a lot of tension, pressure, stress. So to do this, you got to do it safely though, okay? I've actually hurt myself doing it too quickly, for example. All you're doing is leading with your chin. And you're doing half rotations. You're not doing full rotations. That's the secret, okay? So you're doing the front, leading with the chin, and then you're doing the same thing on the back side. It's relieving a lot of the stress and the pressure, a lot of the buildup, the toxins that collect in that area. So that's the first one. Second one is the front and rear shoulder stretch. So what you'll need is some sort of perpendicular type of object, a wall, for example. And all we're doing here, okay, is placing our hand on the wall and making sure that it's level to our bodies and walking away from it, all right, and twisting away from it. And you'll feel this all through the rib cage, up until the pectorals of the chest, into the front of your shoulder, right into your bicep and your forearm. So it really is an upper body stretch. They call it the shoulder stretch, but it's so much more. You would do that for both sides, and we're going to actually go to the, before you do the next side, I'm going to show you the reverse to that, all right, is, again, having your elbow up, perpendicular to the floor, and using your hand, your opposite hand, to bring your, almost like you're trying to choke yourself here, Probably can't hear me anymore. The mic's getting choked over here. All right, here we should do the other side there. Everyone feel that? So you should feel this in all the back of your shoulder, and what they call the trapezius, okay, and the lats or the side of the back. You'll feel all of that if you maximize the stretch. And this is the cool thing about stretching, is we can push ourselves even further with our own force, with our own body weight. Okay, I learned that by doing stretches for the splits. The next one here is the seated hamstring stretch. You want to sit down. All right, so for this one here, feet out in front, one foot right beside your knee, okay? And for the people that are having a hard time, is as long as your foot is on the opposite side of your other leg. That's all it needs to be done. And what we'll do here, you can either use your hand, okay? Or if you're really ambitious here, you can actually bring this hand and place it directly behind you. With this elbow, again, we're going to be using our own body to sort of force the stretch to the point where it's comfortable. And again, if you can't get your elbow in there, just use your hand, okay? And what you're going to do is look the opposite way. You're going to look behind you and pull your knee towards your chest, okay, or to your side. So you're almost corkscrewing it here, right? Your head's going one way, your knee's going the other way, and it's a corkscrew. Fantastic stretch. You can switch it up, do the next side. Okay, and the next one here, we're going to lie down for this one. This is my all-time favorite stretch. I need to do this every day. I used to see a chiropractor. I have lots of friends that are chiropractors, and this is no discredit to what they do, but I just want to refer to sort of how a chiropractor traditionally adjusts you, all right? And the position that they traditionally put you in is exactly the position that we're going to go into now. It's similar to what we were just doing, except now we're lying down. The objective is to keep your shoulders on the mat. And then, with your hand, bring the knee over, and if you get really good at this, your knee will touch the floor, okay? So again, we're doing sort of a corkscrew kind of movement, and typically when I do this, I get that same sort of release or that pop that typically scares people, which is just trapped air in the spinal column, releasing itself, and that allows your spine to align itself. And a lot of the sort of the aches and pains that we have is caused just by that, is by misalignment. And misalignment can be cured just by a simple lying sort of twist stretch, is what I would call it. The next one I would like you to do is on your stomach. Traditionally, you would do this standing up, but I'd like you to do it lying down. It's a little bit more comfortable. You're going to bring one heel towards your butt, and if you can, try to reach back and grab the top of your foot and bring your heel down to your buttocks. Right? One thing I want to mention to you is that we want to hold stretches anywhere from 15 to 30 seconds. You know, as you get advanced, everything just increases, the time increases, right? 60 seconds would be the maximum amount of time I would want you to hold a stretch. So there's 5 stretches here. Even if you were to hold them for 5 minutes, there's really no need for rest in between. It's 5 minutes. And the cool thing about the 3 C's of exercise is that you can isolate them. So what we just did here, you can do it in a circuit. It will take maximum 5 minutes. If you only held it for 30 seconds, it would be 2.5 minutes. That's all it would take. I know a lot of people, they're into a routine of stretching in the morning, right out of bed, for example. The only problem I have with that is that you're not warmed up. And in fact, you know, your body's very dormant. You're in sleep. A little bit dangerous. You know where I suggest doing it? In the shower or fresh out of the shower. So the hot water artificially warms you, okay, but it still works. The body's warm, it's pliable, you won't hurt yourself. So it's great for maybe even the advanced person that doesn't have much time on a given day because of schedule constraints, but needs to do something. Or it's really great for the beginner. You can do this in your house. That's the beauty of it as well. Very convenient. Did everything feel sort of natural? It might have been a little challenging at times, but yeah, I wasn't asking you to fit into a machine that was made for somebody else. I wasn't asking you to be on a belt that runs around, which they have the same belts in the science lab for the rats. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Very natural. And I feel great right now. I don't feel achy or any pain or, yeah, it revitalizes you, right? And it doesn't beat you down. That's what's good about it. Now, unfortunately, we're humans. We're looking for what appears to be the path of least resistance, and that typically is going to be your stationary cardio. It's easy. Go. And we get stuck in that. We really do. So learning this, and it ain't all that hard, I gave you enough to fool around with for, who knows, weeks, months, years, with all the variations. We just scratched the surface.